I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad,
Yeah.
baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame. Yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode, and it is good to be back. I've been quite busy, working that 9 to 5, got to make that fiat money, as Army Piper likes to say. But I hope everyone out there is doing good, and you should be. Prices are looking good. Bitcoin currently sitting at 123,000. ETH it's about to smack that all-time high. Let's get it. So we've been watching ETH quite a bit, and so now we are getting to an all-important level of obvious resistance, given it's going to be an all-time high, pushing up and looking for that price discovery. Where does it go after that? Well, let's draw some lines. Let's see if we can figure that out. So we'll look at the charts here in a minute, but the first thing I got to do, as always, is say what's up to my homies in the chat. Much love to you guys for being here right now, and of course, my dude, username is in the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see you. He's been holding it down, he said, since I've been gone. I appreciate you. Alexandra G, the best mod in all of the space, is in here. My lovely lady, my SoCal lady, what up to you? Thank you for being here as well as always. She's always holding it down. She's holding it down everywhere, though. Man, I don't even know how you do it, man. It's crazy. JR's in the house. What up to you, bro? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well with you. Who else we got in the chat? I think that's about it. That's we are running thin today. That's all right though. We got my fam bam in here, so all good in the hood. Let's go ahead and start this party off. First thing we're gonna do is look at the crypto bubbles. As you can see, it is a sea of green out there. We got OKB with a big move, 120%. That is tied to the exchange, all right? So that's like the underlying asset, kind of like BNB for Binance. This one is actually for the exchange. What is it? OKX, I believe. OKX is what it's called. So the asset itself, OKB, the exchange, OKX. So yeah, good move for them. Arrow is up 14.2%. ARB is up 19.6. Fartcoin, you know it, is up 12.2. Everything else, it looks like on average there about plus or minus 3-4%. But most things are in the green. Unfortunately, it looks like SPX is moving in the wrong direction right now. I know Crypto Squid does not like to see that, but hey, can't be green every day, brother. It is what it is. All right, let's go over to the total market cap, currently sitting at 4.16 trillion. That is a nice move. It is up 2.49%. Fear and Greed Index currently sitting at 63. That is greed. Bitcoin dominance at 58.8% currently. So interesting what you're seeing, right? Dominance is coming down. Bitcoin price is going up. And altcoins are starting to move too, right? So even though Bitcoin price is going up, you are kind of seeing that rotation, and that is indicated by Bitcoin dominance into some of the altcoins. You are also, I haven't talked about it much, but there is that talk of altcoin season. I do want you to look right here. You're only 42 out of 100 right now. You are not even midway. So there's a lot of people talking altcoin season. Understand by the time this thing starts singing altcoin season, what does that mean? Most of the move has already been made, right? A lot of these indicators are lagging, just for your awareness here. But Bitcoin price currently at 122, 123. There it is. Just broke it as I was talking about it. That is up 2.87% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum is at 47.49, which is up 4% over 24 hours, and over 7 days, 29%. Now, there's something we have talked about here before on the show. One of those things is that what we used to see, I would say kind of in the last cycle, is Bitcoin would make a move, right? Bitcoin is that leading indicator, that North Star for the rest of the market. And then you saw Ethereum make its move, and then you saw the altcoins make its move. I would lump the altcoins and Ethereum a little bit closer together than I used to. But that being said, we are seeing that, right? We have seen a very large move for Ethereum, and you have seen, in terms of percentage profit or percentage move, you've seen a lot of the altcoins kind of move in correlation with Ethereum as well. So it is good, but there is a little bit of a divergence there as well. So there could be this opportunity. The opportunity, if Bitcoin continues to consolidate where it is around 122, 123,000, and even down a little bit, that is okay. If Ethereum continues to consolidate, and it continues to consolidate over about 4,000 to 4,100, also a good thing. And that is where you may see the real rotation into the alts. Now, that being said, what I expect to see, and this is kind of my own observation of what I've seen in previous cycles, is that you'll see what looks like whack-a-mole. That's what I call it. So different coins, different days, you'll never know where to be, because they're gonna move, based on some news, or they're just gonna move at random on different days. And so you're just going to see one, you're like, oh man, I was just in Cardano, and the next thing you know, Solana's moving, and then next thing you know, Pingu's moving, and then the next thing you know, BNB's moving. It just goes back, and it's all over the place. And like, so if you're trying to catch the moves, like, it may not be the play. You may just have to have some exposure to all of those assets, and you may end up catching the majority of those moves, just depending on what assets actually start getting going. So let's scroll down a little bit more here. Let's see what we got in the chat. Y'all dropping some duck emojis. TradeFly now loves ETH. That is not quite true, but I think you thought I hated it more than I did. It's not that I hated it. I just didn't think it was the best investment. I will take a little bit there and say, maybe I was a little off. But here's my thing, and we can look at this on the chart here. My thing with Ethereum that you guys have heard me talk about before, and I know right now the audience this evening is a little bit smaller, so it just hasn't kept up. So like we have set multiple all-time highs, and this goes back to 2021. If you're looking at Bitcoin here and you're looking at the price action for Bitcoin, you would expect a relatively similar move for Ethereum. The problem is, while that looks similar because it's 4 hour, it's not, right? So like we should, I'm just drawing a loose trend line, right? And it doesn't mean much, but you would expect Ethereum to be somewhere in that neighborhood, at least setting a new all-time high. And it should have set highs already, theoretically, if it was keeping up with Bitcoin. Now, I understand Bitcoin was ultra bullish, and a lot of people jumped into that. Institutions, whales, countries, a lot of money jumped into Bitcoin. And that had to say so in the fight here. And you didn't see a big rotation. You saw Bitcoin dominance go up, and it's been painful for the altcoins. But that is why when, Ethereum was getting down, in these ranges, I was like, well, maybe it's not the investment we thought it was. Ethereum said, hold my beer, watch this. And it has been on an epic move. We have more than 2x'd. Since we came down here to the buy zone. Now, that being said, just because I wasn't super bullish on Ethereum itself does not mean I am not going to invest in Ethereum at any point, right? We talked about this in the Discord. We've talked about Ethereum ad nauseum, it feels like, because we took a short 28 to 2900 on Ethereum. Like, we've made multiple trades here. We had a buy, we took the breakout retest of this zone, then we took the short, and then we ran up to this level right here. And this is the level that, we've been talking about a couple times on the show here. And that level is about 4,000 to 4,100 for Ethereum. And we've been watching that. We've been watching it like a hawk because we know what? Liquidity was right here. This is where people took or put their stop losses. This is where leveraged short positions were sitting right above 4,100. And that liquidity got off the table, and it just kept on going. So what we were looking for, there was two things here. We got our key level, and what I said is look for either an SFP, which you would see, it would come up, take this liquidity, quickly reestablish down below this range, and then you would expect downside. That would just be, my bias would be downside if you saw an SFP. We did not. We actually saw a breakout retest. And if you go to the lower time frames, it becomes more prominent, right? So, here it is. All right, so we really didn't come back and test like 4,100. Like, it was actually that level of liquidity, and I would say it was probably right on top there you go. So 4,100, where you had this rejection, what it did is just come back down and retest that level before ultimately moving up. And I don't even know that it truly even came down all the way down there. It was so bullish. It was such a bullish move. What happened? What is the thing that I say to look for when we start getting this momentum, right? Like, you start seeing these ascending levels of support right here, and that's kind of a giveaway. It's kind of giveaway that the pressure is still to the upside when you have these moves. So again, I've talked about this before. A lot of people get bullish about pennants and flags. Flags, not so much for me. But when you see an ascending level of support, right, that's when I get a little bit more bullish and say, hey, this actually has an opportunity. Ascending level of support, horizontal level of resistance, gives you the opportunity to push through. Looking good right now. It is looking good for Ethereum. That being said, you know the deal right here. I thought, hey, we were going to take off. We broke, this level at 4,000 to 4,100. I say, hey, it's going to be It's going to be a nice move to the upside. Did I think it was going to be this aggressive, this quick? No. I didn't think it was going to be that aggressive that quick, but you know, the floodgates are open. That being said, here we are. All right, so there's definitely going to be some resistance here. There's going to be people that sell because it's, you know, it's a line in the sand for a lot of people where we come back up and we retest a level that we know it's already rejected from, right? That's where the all-time high was. Now, that being said, I'm not going to say like, hey, you should sell here, but you know, it's where you start thinking about having an exit or a strategy or some kind of, you know, way to lock in those profits at this point. Maybe you slide up. So let's say you got in the trade way down here at the buy zone. People did. People were very fortunate. Have you been following? You know, we were calling it, but like where do you start taking profits? Did you already take profits here? Did you take profits here? And did you take profits here? That's all options for you. The other thing you could do is slide a stop loss up, lock in all this profit. Right? That's an option for you too. Lock it all in, you know, and put your stop loss underneath the level of support. This is support now. Even though we haven't truly come back and retested it, this likely should hold up as support at this point. So it would make a lot of sense to lock in some profit, and that way you're not stuck round tripping. Because look at it, we've been here before, and that's the thing. We set a high, and we came all the way down to sub 1,000. So we went from 4,700 down to sub 1,000. All right, so to think it can't happen again, you'd be crazy. So I always recommend locking in some profits, especially on these large moves. It just makes a lot of sense to me, but you do your thing. All right, so I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm just here to talk to you about how I would approach it. So all that being said, let's go ahead and update this, right? We've made a new high right up in that level of resistance, which will bring the 382 up here a little bit more. And that will, you know, fall in line. And what would really be nice, to be honest with you, is if price did push up and it continued to push up a little bit more, set the high somewhere around $5,000, nice psychological area. That would be cool. Push up this 382, and then we come back down and retest the top of the range. We have seen that over and over and over again, where at minimum, we come back, we retest the top of the range, and then we see that continuation of movement to the upside. So that is something that I would keep an eye on for Ethereum. That would be a setup. Now, again, this is us just trying to get ahead of the price action. This is us putting, you know, the levels a little bit higher, making an assumption that we could push up, set a new all-time high, and then what does that kind of set us up for? Well, then that sets us up for an opportunity in my mind, because you have a horizontal level of resistance. We can go and get this liquidity off of here. That's gone. We've gotten rid of that. But, you know, coming back down, retesting the high, that would make a lot of sense in my mind. Then you got the 0.382. If you're looking for bullish continuation, that's what you want to look for in terms of the fib retracement level. So, you know, that could be an opportunity here. What would that look like? What would the expectation be if we were to come back down? Let's go ahead and set it up just a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of space. And let's bring this up. I mean, you can get a heck of a move here. If you're looking to take it all the way back up here to this level, 20% move, I don't know. I think that might be a little aggressive. I would probably look for maybe the top or the bottom of this range right here as kind of an intraday, try to get in, get out, take your profits kind of deal, or you take your initial off the table at that point and then see if it runs. You could always do that. There's definitely different opportunities here for you, but I do like this level. I like this level at about 3,900. I'd say 3,900 really. And that could be an opportunity, because right now, like, you know, the only thing that you could realistically be looking for in my mind, well, I guess you could look for two things here for Ethereum right now. And one of them is potentially a rejection out of this area. But you're going to have to see some kind of retest, right? And when I say that, you know, I wouldn't say to just jump into this blindly. You're going to want to see a rejection, and then you want to see the price action come up, try to retest that level, and then get rejected. All right, so that's kind of what I would look for there in terms of like, hey, can we see potential downside here from this level? And then where could we go? I would simply target this area right here, and that would be, let's set up a short position. If you're retesting the top of the range there, then it's all about where the wick is, right? All about the wick. All right, but let's say that's the tallest one out of the bunch. I mean, that's a nice 5-to-1, but it's about a 7.52% move. You know, I think that's very reasonable, but you're going to be fighting the trend if you're taking a short right now. So that's not going to be my bias. All right, right now I'm going to be looking for long setups until I see some sort of true reversal, because you know the name of the game here is to not fight the trend, and that will, you know, inevitably increase your percentage chance of winning the trade. So the other opportunity that is potentially on the table right now is breaking out, right? Get that breakout retest, look for continuation. Do we actually start meeting this trend line at some point? That could be well within reason. You know, do we have to make a little channel like we did for Bitcoin, where we took the high to high, the lows here, and we made a channel that extended up and right, and start looking for how that price interacts? It's kind of like the spider lines that you see with CryptoFace sometimes. It's along that. It's along those lines, right? So that's something that we could keep an eye on. And let's go ahead and do let's see if we can find a good spot for a fib extension here. I think we can. There we go. Fib extension, take swing low, high to low. There you go, man. So right now, interesting enough, the 786 on a fib extension is right in the area of resistance. So your next level up would take you to about 5180. Kind of your next step up there on the fib extension. But I mean, you're at the 786. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little rejection here in this area. Like as we push up a little bit, I really think that people would be inclined to take some profits, knowing that we're at an all-time high. But it's bullish. It's bullish AF. I'll be honest with you. So there's a couple things for you guys to look for on Ethereum. I know I took that and just ran with it, and we kind of skipped some things here. But let's go back. We'll go ahead. Let's see what you guys got going on for the daily degen. We'll go ahead and get that going. All right, over to the daily degen. The way this works here is I give you guys, the audience, the opportunity to vote whether we go long or short. All right, so right now you guys are 67% moon. That is tough. That is really tough. We are right at a level of resistance for both Ethereum and Bitcoin. We'll look at that on the charts, but let's go to old Fartcoin, man. Fartcoin always does us good, and that was moving in the right direction at least, so maybe we can get some more love out of that. Let's see if we can find it here. Is like some of this stuff out of order? Oh, it's by volume. Well, let's just type it in. Makes my life easier. All right, so we're 20x. We are market. You know, we're putting 5 on it. Here you go. We are risking a whopping $1. All right, so we got a 20x. Again, this is just for fun. We do pretty minimal TA here. The way it is we give you guys the opportunity to vote, and we just send it, right? And it's just very, very interesting to see that you can do all the TA you want, but sometimes it just doesn't matter. So here you go. That is in. You guys have voted. We are long on Fartcoin. Let's see how that plays out. It did just break the 200 as well as the VWAP. That is a good sign. At least being on top of those levels is good, right? So you just take a quick glance on the 5-minute, and you can say, hey, like there's an opportunity here for it to make a move. Let's go ahead and move up the TP here. I think, let's see, what's that going to give us? About a 30% move. Kind of rejecting from this area right here, this little horizontal. You can see price action, not ideal. But if we break through this level, pretty much where we entered at, that definitely gives us an opportunity to make a run up. So let's go ahead. There we go. Got that TP in, and then you want to protect yourself with a little stop loss. It's going to be pretty close to a 1-to-1, to be honest. But hey, I know we're doing the daily degen, but why not practice a little bit of risk management? There you go. We don't want to get upside down too much. All right. So we put those in. We'll go ahead and let that play out, and we'll come back and check it out in a little bit. Let's go over to the chat. Haven't given you guys some love. Didn't come up for air much. You know, once I get going, I just full send that thing. We got Wick's wife, Fine 8 and 9 in the chat. What up, lady? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Of course, Andrea's here as well. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated what you do in the Discord. She does have a section there called Pumpamentals. All right, so she likes to get into the fundamental aspects of trading, and appreciate it. Always got to give you a little shout out. We got my dude OC guy. He said Effie. my dude OC in the chat. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Much love to you. I think we topped. My idiot friend wants in crypto and wants XRP. Now TradeFly likes ETH. None of this makes sense. It's not that I like ETH. I don't. We're like I said, we're at an area of resistance. We had an opportunity to buy. I'm not buying ETH right now. Like, I'm going to be fully transparent with you. Like, I'm going to give you like where I see probable setups, but I'm not buying ETH right now. Like, I'm going to be real as real with you. There's no way. It should be way higher. So anyways, all right, let's keep it going. Scrolling down. JR in there said he's nerding out. There we go. Scrolling down. Somebody said I like the hat. Yeah, I got hats. I think they're up there. They're up on my shelf. I got a bunch of the black ones. I got to go to the post office. I've been slacking. Working nights has been catching up with me, but I'm going to go to the post office. I know I've been saying it. I'm going to go to the post office tomorrow and look up shipping for a couple of people. I got 2 people that want hats. I got the black one. Let me grab it just so you guys can see it. There we go. Alrighty. I got these ones for sale. Got the website on there. Pretty dope. It's the trucker style, if you're into that kind of thing. I just figured it fit the most heads. I got to be honest. So there you go. But they're cool, man. I got a lot of compliments on the logo. I've been going out kind of networking a little bit with people, and they always like that logo. It's fresh. And you know what's funny? You know, one thing I wasn't thinking about. I was like, hey man, Crypto Squid go way back. He actually helped me with that. So he was working on a project, and he had a guy that was doing some art, and they helped me with the logo. So I got the main logo, but like with doing like colors and stuff like that. Like, you don't see it on the hat, but the actual logo itself is actually multicolored and kind of fades. But funny enough, man, he actually helped me with that. So much love, man. Appreciate that. All right, let's see who else we got in here. Scrolling down a little bit, rolling through the chat here. Deborah, what up? Good evening to you. Thank you for being here. Much love, much love. Scrolling down. The hats are fly. You know it. Let's get it. I want my TradeFly hates E shirt. We'll see. You know what? If I can start selling some swag, man, and I can have like a little store, maybe we'll make a I hate E shirt just for you username, and then we'll put a rib emoji on the front. You better buy it though. All right, let's go ahead and get back to things. First thing we got to do is, I won't say the first thing. We just got to get back to the news here. All right, this one's a quickie. Easy enough. A lot of people were talking about Michael Saylor. A lot of people were talking about him potentially being upside down with strategy and, you know, having to pay back some of this money. Bro, this man is killing it. He's been buying the tops, right? And you guys know it. It's certified. He's been buying the tops. But then the tops aren't the tops anymore. And that shit just keeps on going up. They are 77.2 billion dollars in profit. That's wild, man. That is wild. Good on him. He has been one of the biggest advocates for Bitcoin. There's no doubt about it. You can hate on him if you want, but you can't say he ain't been shilling the heck out of Bitcoin, right? He has been good for Bitcoin price. There's no doubt about it. Let's go over the economic calendar here. Scrolling down, we got PPI month over month. That is going to be tomorrow. Then you got retail sales month over month and Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday. So PPI, that could have a little impact, but we did get our what was it? The inflation numbers, and they came back okay. All right, so that's more pressure on the Fed to actually lower the rates, because it almost looks as in Orange Man might have been onto something. So I won't give you my take on that, but here nor there, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them to lower rates. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's look at the heat map here for Bitcoin. I'm going to update that real quick because we are on the 3-day. We've been talking too much. Get you guys the most up-to-date info here. There you go. Oh, look at that. Came right up in there and took that liquidity. Look, see that dark spot? So we had liquidity right at about 123.550. You saw a nice little wick out of there, so we could be looking at a potential short on Bitcoin. We'll have to go to the charts and look at that. To the bottom side, though, we got about 117.750. You got liquidity down there. I already got those marked on the chart. So let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin. I usually do a top-down first on Bitcoin, but username got me going, man. He got me going with the old E stuff. So let's look at this. Let's go to the 4-hour, and there you go. So this liquidity, before we started talking, I had just marked that. Oh, so we broke the all-time high. We did that live, and I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, man. All right, new all-time high for Bitcoin. Here we go. All right. So that's a celebratory event. See how excited I am right now. So yeah, you have liquidity up there. Not too surprised. One of the things I was gonna talk about in terms of liquidity, though, is like it was just like coming in, and it just kept piling in. So we saw this before. Last time we set some highs on Bitcoin, is people were coming in with aggressive shorts, essentially, right? Coming up to the all-time high, they're like, okay, cool. Like, we should probably see a turnaround, probably see a rejection in that area of the all-time high. So, of course, they pile in shorts. What happens? They get wrecked, get a little bit of a squeeze. Then you trap some longs, and then you ultimately see a reversal. Thing is, you want to see all this liquidity off the table, and really that liquidity is not like, it's not dark. And I would say like empty until you get to about 125. Now, is that realistic that we continue to push up like right now? I don't know. I don't even know if that's enough liquidity to really drive the market too much, but how does that coincide with our fib extension? All right, so I did a little fib extension on Bitcoin, just kind of see, hey, where can we go? If we break through the all-time high, clear out this liquidity, 124.653 makes a lot of sense, right? And you have liquidity at 125. So you could keep your eye on this level, you know, at 124.650. And then if you get a push up, we said what, 125? Let me get rid of that. Let's go ahead and move this up, right? We said 125 and 125. Let's go back real quick. That's the top of it. Yeah, 125 is about the top of it. Oh, wrong one. All right, so let's go ahead and update that real quick. We go to the text, no, coordinates, that's what it is. 125.000. We'll update that. All right, so you know you got liquidity now right above where we have a fib extension. So now we have kind of a line in the sand, right? It's important because if you're looking for a trade setup, that's what we're doing. We're looking for trade setups. Like, I don't really care about giving you the whole analysis of the historicals and what we did and what we can do and all that good stuff. Like, that's for some darn trades, right? So 124.6 right now is your fib extension, all right? And then you have liquidity right above it. So if we push up to that area, you see liquidity get grabbed, and then you see us reestablish right below 124.6. Could be an opportunity to take a little short down to what? The previous all-time high, right? And that's sitting at the 0.786 at 123.234. So there you go. That could be an opportunity right there. Again, you know, that's what you're going to be looking for. You're looking for a liquidity grab here. Take this liquidity at 125 and then reestablish the zone below. And then you would exit at the previous all-time high. That's a nice little, almost 4-to-1. Well, we can be realistic about it. Let's say it takes you a little while to get into the trade before you get that confirmation. Even then, you're still going to get yourself a nice 3-to-1, I think. Maybe a 2-to-1. 2-to-1 at worst. All right, 2-to-1 at worst. So there you go. There's a little opportunity. And then vice versa. If you see price action established above the all-time high here, or the previous all-time high, right? Maybe get a breakout retest, just like you saw with Ethereum. I'm not saying, hey, like it can go either way. There's no doubt about it. But if you get, you know, some moves up, comes back down, retest, and then you look for that continuation. So you'll be looking for, you know, a confirmation. You don't just want to jump in on the retest. Like, oh, it came back to the all-time high. We retested. It's got to go up. No. It's not what that's not what I mean. You need to have some bullish candle structure off of that level at the all-time high as a confirmation to look for that continuation to the upside. Okay, so that could be an opportunity for you, man. Well, then our trade has to be looking good, right? Whoo! It already closed. Oh man, should have put some real dough on that one. Damn. All right. Well, guys, you definitely won the day. There's no doubt about it. You won the day, no doubt. That is up 30%. 30.09% for the daily DGen. That is a winner. Let's get it. All right. You guys made me a whopping $1.32. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, that was a really strong move there. Like I said, man, you got above the 200 and the VWAP. Wouldn't be surprised to see a nice little move up. And sure enough, man, that thing is just moonshotting right now, which means Bitcoin is probably still moving too. There you go. Looking strong, man. I like to see it. I like to see it. Let's go. Let's see. TradeFly loves and hates me, which makes our friendship stronger. Hey, man. I've become good friends with people I get in fights in. There's no doubt about that. Check the DGen. Yeah. It closed, bro. We could have let that one run, huh? That's all right. Got to do risky management, as you say, JR. Risky management, you know? All right. So Bitcoin right now looking good, setting all-time highs. I'm glad we could watch that together. Man, we've already won ourselves a trade. What else are we going to do today? Let's go ahead and look at some other assets here. It looks like JR was talking about Cardano. Let's look at Cardano. You said that one's looking good. Everything should be looking good right now. Look at that, up to 90 cents, man. So this is same deal, right? Like, if you guys are watching the show at all, like, I don't have to be here every day for you guys to know. We had a nice little line in the sand here. And we were saying, hey, if we break this area, very likely if we break this area that we would see some nice moves to the upside. A couple things that we've been watching too is we gotten over all of the moving averages, right? Like all the moving averages below the 200, the 50, the 21. We had a nice little trend that we broke out of with a very nice breakout retest. We talked about that as well. I don't have it drawn anymore, but right here we got that nice breakout retest continuation. So looks good there. I mean, Cardano's looking good. I mean, you're going to run up to a little intermediate level of horizontal resistance right about here where you're at. You can just see it in the price action, right? So if we just come back left on the chart just a little bit here, what you're seeing right here at this level, I'd say at about 92 cents, and maybe a little bit further down as well. So 92 cents. But you can see where you have both support and resistance, right? So here's your support, here's your resistance, here's your support breakdown. That's kind of, one thing that keys you in on that level, about 90 cents, is a logical area to see a little bit of rejection. But, the stronger level when it comes to Cardano, the level that we really care about is going to be the dollar mark. The dollar mark, if you go back to the last cycle for Cardano, was instrumental. That's where I actually bought. I kept piling into Cardano at $1, and ultimately it ran up to, about $3. And we've talked about that before. And I got out at, I believe it was like $2.86. I was mad at myself at the time. Hindsight, great, because I've bought Cardano multiple times after that and made money off of it, this being one of them. All right, so we got this and we started getting it. So one of the things that we haven't talked about much here as much recently is when you see these trends kind of coming down and then you see that trend go horizontal and you have this trend line and you break out of it, that might be a good opportunity or a good signal that you could see that move to the upside. So that has played out quite well for Cardano. Right now, Cardano's looking good. Like I said, you got a little intermediate level of support, about 92 cents. But really the stronger level of resistance, the one that's kind of the line in sand for Cardano in my mind, is $1. And, so when I was saying we had some line in the sands for Ethereum, we've kind of broken those, all looking good. Cardano, my big line in the sand right now is $1. I think if we get over $1, that's where you have a lot of potential. I mean, really, I mean, if you want to go like bull market, like full on ape, and I don't mean ape in, but like where the token is just taking off, you got to get over probably $1.30, really to be like, okay, cool. Like we have that opportunity to just take off, right? $1.30. Then we're talking about, hey, we got to start looking way back here to have some kind of correlation in price action. So, but again, $1, I think is going to be a big line in the sand for me in terms of like, hey, we break that, then we're going to be like, okay, cool. Like we're retesting this high, just like we did with Ethereum, just like we did with Bitcoin. And I would say coming back up to retest that high again, you're probably more likely to finally break it, knowing that the market is pretty strong right now. So again, Cardano looking good. What are we looking for in terms of potential trades? Well, we got to update this. Look at that. See, I was already getting ahead of it because I brought it up to where I thought we could go. So that's already up there. Right at about 93 cents. And what I say, about 90 to 92. I think there's going to be an intermediate level. So yeah, I mean, you got the 21, the 0.382. You got a horizontal all below you right now. I would look for, some kind of little pullback, little shake in the market. Now you're looking at somewhere around 80 to about 83 cents. Maybe in as far down as the 382 at 77, but somewhere in this zone here, you got the 21, you have the moving average shift kind of moving its way up, you have the 50 moving its way up, so that's good. The more confluence that you have in this level above 77 cents, the better you feel about taking a long position. And then where will we take that? Let's say we get into a trade with Cardano. If you're looking at that, let's say we get in about 80 cents, comes back up to about 93 cents. That is a 16% move. Cover our ass here with a stop loss below the 382. And that is going to be a 3.37 risk to reward. So there's going to be another opportunity, I think, for us if Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, but if Cardano pulls back. That's what I would be looking for, right? And that keeps the trend too. Like we're not losing anything there. So there you go. There's an opportunity there for you on Cardano. I do think you're going to find a rejection though, initially at $1. So I wouldn't say blindly take a short position off of that, but we are looking, at a potential rejection there. So how do we look for a trade there? We're looking at the psychological area of $1, taking that down in inverse, right? So now we're taking it down to about 90 to 92 cents. Gives you about a 2 to 1. All right, so that could be an opportunity as well. So there's multiple ways to play this, and it's like you can just play this game where it's kind of, bingo bango, as a trade intuition says, and it's kind of bouncing around. But there's definitely two opportunities at every key level. Think about it. There's two opportunities at every key level, and it's just based on what we see with the price action. So we identify that key level, and then we say, okay, cool. Is it going to be an SFP, or are you going to see a breakout retest? And that just tells you everything that you need to know in terms of what I'm going to do with these trades. So I try to keep it very, very simple when I'm looking at some of these trade setups to kind of help you guys along in terms of, are we going to take an opportunity here? Now, the other thing, you got to start thinking about too is, liquidity for Cardano. And I would say the bulk of liquidity for Cardano is really, it's going to be up here. So I wouldn't get too psyched about making any progress up here. Honestly, I think the liquidity actually is still further up here. So that's where things will get a little bit more weird for Cardano. You'll see probably some more volatility, and then you could have opportunity for a more aggressive short if we were to see a rejection out of that zone. All right, see what you guys got going on in the chat. Look at that, Trade Intuition. You must have heard me talking about him. What up, dude? Good to see you, bro. Just mentioned your bingo bango. Steve Hickey, what up, man? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for being in the chat. Appreciate you. I remember being on Nightcap with TradeFly and FD when Bitcoin hit 100K. Memories. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Me and FD are going to try to do some more stuff, man. We were talking after the last show. We really worked. We really enjoyed the vibe, man. Really enjoyed working with each other. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can try to get some more content or do some more content together. We're gonna try to make it a more regular thing, whether it's every other week or maybe even every week. We'll see. Definitely gonna figure that out, man. But love having FD on. Definitely good people, and it sounds like he's gonna have a little bit more time to do some content now. So looking forward to that. All right, let's get back over to this. Already knocked ourselves out with a trade. Look at that nasty rejection there. Whew. And that's where we sold. So that's why you got to get ahead of it, man. You know, you look at these levels and you're like, okay, cool. Where can we see a rejection? Look at this, man. Look how aggressive that sell-off is. The other thing is too, I bet just taking a swag, wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin was selling off a little bit. There it is. Because you know the liquidity was right there. Now I updated the liquidity. Remember, the liquidity was right here. So, what are your guys' thoughts? Are we thinking about a potential short? I mean, potential low leverage play there. And if it keeps pushing up, we just stop out below above the wick. What I don't like is just being right on top of the moving averages already on the 5-minute. Let's turn the VWAP on here real quick. Let's see where that's sitting at. Is that in green right now? It is. I don't know why that's in green. Cool, so the VWAP's way down. Got good divergence on the 5-minute between there. It's just you got a lot of the moving averages right underneath the price action right now. Still looking good, right? That's kind of the trend that it's been following up right now, just kind of bouncing off these moving averages. I would say it'd be a little bit risky to take a short right here, but this is kind of what you're looking for, right? Like, you got the liquidity. It's just you don't like having straight into, you know, potential support in terms of looking at these moving averages. So liquidity, took that. Let's go back. Let's update this. The heat map. Okay. Come on. There you go. Yeah, so there's still liquidity up there. There is still liquidity. It got the hot spot, but you still have some liquidity. That gives me a little bit of a pause, I'm gonna be honest with you. Little bit of a pause there. Let's see here. Do a little fib off of that level. Yeah, you still got the 618 underneath of you. That's going to be tough. I typically like to short the all-time highs just for funsies. It's just one of those times, man, like the way Ethereum's been moving, the way the market's been moving, it just feels silly to try to short it right now. Let's look at the total market cap. I haven't looked at that too much. That's looking good. Had a little fib extension on there. Where'd I take that from? Swing low to high to low. Got it. Yeah, pretty close to the 618, right? Not too far. Big line in the sand for you in terms of total market cap is this level right here. Right, just retesting the high of the range. All good if it does, right? If you come back down, retest the high of the range. Still bullish. Still got the moving averages underneath the VO on the daily. You got the 50, got the moving average shift. Shoot, you even got the 21 in terms of total market cap. So would still be looking good. I mean, really, you could actually theoretically come back down and just retest this high, get that bounce there, and that's sitting at about 4 trillion. Nice little round number too, right? Just above. I mean, That's actually at about 3.94, but still. Nice psychological area. I mean, that the structure looks beautiful on the total market cap, man. I would hate to kind of bet against that. Not till we see something like some kind of change of character. USDT dominance, look at that, man. That's looking good. We actually broke that horizontal right there. Remember, we were talking about this. I was like, we have a little weak horizontal right there. If you're looking at the price action, right? Like, look how the moving average shift kind of breaks it up in terms of the colors, right? So you can see both support and resistance right there for USDT dominance at about 4.12%. Breaking down from that is actually very bullish. Losing that is very bullish. And then if you see that continuation down, man, that could be a nice move for everything. And then if you get breakout retest, right? You come down, you retest that level, that horizontal here, right? Come back up and then look for that move down. That's what I'm talking about right there. But that being said, here's my warning shot. If you see this move continue its way down to 3.8%, down to that level for USDT dominance, I would start thinking about some exit strategies. Why? Well, we ain't been below that level since January of 22. It's been 3 years. 3 years. We haven't been below that level. Do you think you're going to get a reaction from there? I'm not saying we won't go below it, but my hunch would be that the logical move in terms of, you know, I'll say price action for this. I guess percentage move is probably the more correct thing to say for USDT dominance. The logical move would be for something like this, where it comes down, goes up to retest this level before ultimately making a move down to retest again, and then potentially then you could see that move, that continuation, right? And that's only saying it, you know, it happens one time. Like, it, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 times it came down to that level. Let's see right here. 2 times there. I mean, you could argue for 4 right there, right? So like, my expectation would be you're gonna find probably an initial rejection from that level, because remember, it's an inverse relationship. Think about this upside down. But the good news is we broke this level right here. So USDT dominance is looking good. Let's see. Clayton the Great, what up to you, bro? Good to see you, man. Trade Intuition, thanks, man. High praise, brother. I appreciate it. K Diggity, no doubt. And we got J Violet in the chat. What up, lady? Good to see you. Rib chat, alive and well. You know it. You know it. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked Joe out, make sure you're getting over there, checking his channel out as well. He does a lot of good content. And yeah, man, support the homies. Support the homies. No doubt about it. And I see you guys are being crazy in the chat as usual. I'm glad that's back. The later we do shows, the crazier y'all get. I love it. All right. Do we have music? Like, I feel like I don't. Oh, yeah. I can hear it. I just need to turn it up a little bit. I need some jams. I need to get in the flow here. All right. Life is good now. Let's see. We haven't looked at NASDAQ all that much here recently. Let's just take a quick look-see at that. Off to the races it goes. That shit is full send. Good Lord.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
All right. So, yeah, NASDAQ looking great. I mean, bullish AF ever since all the tariff scare. It's just been off to the races. If you're looking for an opportunity, I would say the opportunity still remains. I feel like this opportunity has been on the board for like a month, probably over a month at this point. But yeah, if it comes back down, retest the high of this range here. Yeah, that's what I would look for. Right around 20,200 to about 20,000. That's been on the board for quite some time. Yeah, if we come back for whatever reason, that is where I would expect to see a bounce. And now you can see the 0.382 working its way up based on some of the price action. This is good. This is good. The more the price goes up, the more you start finding these key levels. You have a nice horizontal here at 1918. I don't think that we're going to visit that anytime soon. Value area low as well as the 200, right? You got Confluent City right there. That may become a buy zone for me. All right. Matter of fact, in the interim, we are going to mark this area. I like it. I like it a lot. There you go. Why do I like it? Confluence. A lot of confluence. Value area low, 382, 200 SMA. Shoot. Give me some of that. Look at how important the 200 SMA is on the NASDAQ, on the daily. Look, here you go, here you go, here you go. And when you break it and lose it and retest, look at this. Continuation, I talk about this all the time. Breakout, retest, continuation. Breakout, retest, continuation. This is what I'm talking about. Breakout, retest, continuation. Remember it. Learn it. Love it. Make it part of your trading adventure. Breakout, retest, continuation. If I didn't teach you anything tonight, remember that. It's tried and true. It's tried and true. Promise you. But there you go. Let's a quick look at NASDAQ. Let's look at Tesla real quick. I haven't given it too much love here recently. We did have that nice bounce out of a horizontal level there, 618. Hasn't really come back. I remember talking about Tesla kind of being mooked up in here. It was right in these areas here, and there's a lot of moving averages. I was like, I don't know what the hell to do here. Like, there's too much going on. And you can see kind of price was kind of waffling. It was really what is the word here? But being pinched, right? So, you know, it was getting squeezed essentially, and we got the breakout to the top side, which, to be honest, a little unexpected, to be honest with you. But look, yeah, this horizontal here, very clear at about 332. All right, look, it came out. What'd you get? If you go to lower time frames, look. What'd you get? Breakout. Let's do it on the hourly and make it more clear for you. Here we go. Breakout. Retest. What happens next? Continuation. I'm telling you. It's just about finding some of these key levels. The things that we do, it works on everything. It doesn't have to just be crypto. It works on traditional stocks just as well. If not better sometimes, to be real with you. Let me show you this. I've shown you guys this before, but for those that are new, haven't tuned in, haven't seen me, seeing this for the first time. Let's go to NASDAQ. All right. Check this out. I mean, it's pretty much perpetually bullish, but if you wanted to trade, right? Let's say you didn't want to just buy and just hold, even though if you just buy and hold the NASDAQ, you're good. I mean, you had you had a bear market there, but you just buy in on the way down. Like, at some point NASDAQ's going to go up. You just buy in, lower your cost basis. And then once it breaks, right? Like the midway point, this right here, when it comes up, breakout, retest to that midway point there, what happens? You're in profit. That's all right. That's not good enough for you. I'm going to show you more. All right. There is a free indicator from ChartPrime. It is called the moving average shift. It's this one right here. Once you go in, change it, EMA 118, and then go to high, low, close, and there you go. This one here with the divided by 4. This actually mimics their paid indicator. All right, damn near identical. It's one of their paid for indicators. Because all it does, like if you look at any of these different indicator suites, let me teach you a little secret. They're just using the price action on the chart. There's only so much they can do with it. There's only so many different equations. There's only so many different ways that a candlestick will present itself on a chart. All that stuff is derived from price action on the chart. If you didn't know, now you know. All right. So when people are talking about cash flow and all that stuff, or, you know, money flow or whatever the hell they're talking about, it's all derived from price action on the chart. TradingView does not have the capability to bring in external data off of exchanges. They used to. It's gone. They can't do that anymore. So be careful. Be careful of what you're believing. Be careful of what you think is reality. Be careful of indicators that repaint. That can get you burnt. But here nor there, back to NASDAQ, back to ChartPrime, back to the moving average shift, back to making money. All right, so look at this. If you just buy the switch or the color switch, right? You see how it's blue, goes to white, and you just want to trade? You just want to be a trader? Yeah, you want to be cool? You want to be a trader? There's a 77% banger for you. You would have lost right here. You would have lost right here. Small losses. Super small losses. Wouldn't even be mad. But then, we want to be traders, all right? We don't want to be exposed to the market because we think something in the world is going to happen. I don't want to say words. I don't want to say big words because I like people looking at the channel. I don't want them to get weird, but there you go. There's a 18% move for you. This one you may have lost potentially, but here we go. We're getting back in. We're trading. We're trading the NASDAQ. There you go. There's a 27.39% move for you. Looks like you might have won this one. Just a little baby win. And then this one right here, like, so the tariff stuff happened, right? Big tariff news, but it switched colors. So for us, if we were using this method, right? Just moving average shift, simple as it gets. Moving average shift on the daily for NASDAQ. Let's measure this one. All right, tariff news, dumpsy doos. Where do we get in at on this one? Right here. All right, it's got to be candle close, bar close here. So when all this stuff happened, you still would have made almost 9%. Almost 9%. Then we got a switch again. So got all the tariff scare. You pretty much get back in really about where you got out. And you're at current levels at a 16% profit. You're only playing this one way. You're not shorting the market. You're just playing longs. You're just playing longs on the NASDAQ. Now, that being said, what is probably the better deal, like, is if you would have got NASDAQ a long time ago. But are you there? Are you where you at right now and you've never invested in the NASDAQ before and you're looking for an opportunity to invest in the NASDAQ? Well, this is it, man. It's certified. I've gone back. I've done the back testing. Just literally put those settings in and it's free. It's just wins, man. And you won't be exposed. So when you get these big drawdowns like the bear markets, then you may have a couple little losses in there, but like you understand what it is. But you gotta have exposure. You gotta play the game. You're gonna have stop losses. Like, and a lot of people are like, they get wrapped around this, right? So let's say we start here, okay? And you get stopped out right here, super small loss. Right? People are getting pissed. They're like, oh, you suck at trading. All right, we lost 2%. Freaking TradeFly is the worst. Don't follow that guy. And then it comes back down. You get stopped out again. Dude, F this dude. He's lost 2 trades in a row. And then we come back and we just made all of it back. There's your 20% win. This is a small win here, probably like 1%. And then boom, we got another one. So we were 0 for 2 and we look like poop. Now we're 50-50 and you're like, oh dude, you only have a 50% hit rate. You suck. Okay. Cool, man. But I'm also profitable. Now, how do we make this even more juicy for you degens? I got something for you. Don't worry. So there's actually a way to use the leverage. There's a leverage. It's I believe it's TQQQ, if I remember correctly. I believe that is a 2x leverage for NASDAQ. Don't hold me to that. I think it is, but let me measure it real quick. We're going through here, 2022. Yeah. So there's your 2x, right? 73%. All right, so from there to there, 73%. From here to here is 50%. So yeah, we got these two little baby losses. Maybe 10%. We'll say worst case scenario, 20% between the two of them. And really, I'm doing something very conservative. Very conservative. Just saying 20%. And then you turn around and, like I said, this is probably a small win. And then you just crush it. You're over 100%. Over 100%. 4 trades, 50% win rate. And that's not even following the rest of it. That's just right here. So what I like to do when I do my back testing, one of the things I love doing is using 2022 and 2023. Why? Why do I like that? Very simple. 2022. What is this? It's a downtrend. What do we have here? Consolidation. Indicators suck in consolidation. What do we have here? An uptrend. So we have a downtrend, an uptrend, and consolidation. If you want to know if your stuff works, try it out from 2022. Literally from the beginning of 22 to the end of 23. If you're back testing a strategy, or if you're using an indicator and you want to see if it works, you'll get everything in there. Like I said, you'll get consolidation, you'll get a downtrend, and uptrend. The markets usually trend. Like let's call it what it is. They're not usually stuck in consolidation for too long. Like at least, I mean, if you're looking at something like NASDAQ, look, trending, consolidating, trending. This was the tariff news, right? Call it black swan, call it what you want. I mean, we recovered. V-shaped recovery if I ever seen one. So there you go. Just gave you free money. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Andrew Cameron, what up, man? The GM guy himself. The GM guy himself. Let's go. All right. I gave y'all some alpha for the night. What time we got? 4:20. We got to end it. We set an all-time high on Bitcoin. I gave y'all alpha, and it's freaking 4:20. Is there any other time that we should be ending this show? I don't think so. I'm going to get out of here. Love you guys. As always, come over to the Discord. Check out the Discord. We've had some really nice calls out there. My dudes are doing it big in the Discord, hitting some big P&Ls. The signals are fire. Check it out. Our Discord for the premium setups is super cheap. It's $20. There's no one out there really beating that. There's really not. So if you want to just get the signals, that's the spot for you. Check it out. Much love to you guys. I hope everyone has a great night. As always, be safe. Is it trade safe? Be safe. I messed up my own line. It's trade safe. Be safe. I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. Much love.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.